Bob?
Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's not good.
Yo ho 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 and welcome to hanautaBob's Baseless Blabbering session number 3. This time I will be talking about the One Punch Man game, its May online event season, that by the way already started, as well as fix some stuff I got wrong about the tournament events in my first Blabbering session video. Not that anyone complained so far, but still, I'm gonna correct myself. That will be the longer portion of the video, but first the main news. The Hero Revitalization event is back again. The best mission gives 40 tickets again, it lasts 10 days again, and the final reward requires 10,000 tickets this time. Yo ho ho ho, that was a joke, it is 5,000 like always. Why did I bother mentioning it at all, you might ask yourself now. Well, because this time you get 3 missions per battle type. It's way quicker to reach the missions that give 40 tickets per clear that way, so that's good. I just wish those missions would stop only giving green chips for clearing them while passing all the reward conditions. I really need a lot of blue chips for the last piece of furniture, and to get the last avatar part for the female avatar all I need is a single orange chip. But for some reason, clearing all reward conditions in these Hero Revitalizations events only ever gives green chips. All the time. If you didn't trade your April chips in yet, you can still do so until the 10th May, just pick the browse last month's item for trade option when talking to the online trader, and you're good to go. The April and May items and chips are strictly separated though. If you miss a few chips to get an item in the April store, that's tough luck. Nothing you can do about it now. Maybe you can pray that they will get added to the regular shops eventually, but you probably should do something better with your time, like watching paint dry. Yo ho ho ho. Oh, before I forget it, the footnotes of the May events mentioned the items of May will stay around in June, so they are easier to get. So that's a positive. Was I powerful enough to affect Bandai Namco and Spike Chunsoft? I highly doubt that. But at least it's a step in the right direction, regardless of why they decided to extend the time you can get the May items. It's a good change, so why should I question it? So, the May news are done, time for correcting myself on the tournament event. First up, I am not sure if I remembered it wrong from March, or if it was actually changed up in April, but in the tournament event of April, you could select teams. It wasn't working with the hero rival system like the ranked avatar battles, but instead it was like ranked team battles. That said, the battles can still be super random thanks to the events. They can make for quite the undeserved comebacks. But it is what it is. There probably won't be any event there these are turned off, so better get used to it. I know, last time I was talking about this game, I was fed up, and saying I wouldn't participate in player versus player events or even online at all, so I shouldn't have tried to play the tournament event again. But I wanted to make sure it's a bad way of getting online chips. And boy was I wrong. Kinda. If you were willing to play during the most horrible hours when no one else is trying to do tournament battles, you could easily farm points versus the AI. Just be aware it's gonna be time consuming, since the game is searching somewhere between 3 to 10 minutes for another player before finally matching you against an AI controlled team. These are pretty easy to beat, making the extra wait worth it, at least in my opinion. If you play against other players you have a high risk of losing because they are not as predictable as the AI, and the battles itself will take longer, especially if you both use a lot of killer moves. It will artificially extend the battle time, since they freeze the timer. Anyways, farming AI instead of participating like a normal human being is kind of a gray zone, really. On one hand, it is kind of unfair how fast you can gain points versus the AI, especially since you can rack up a winning streak gaining a point multiplier of up to 5. All that with very little risk of losing. On the other hand, if you beat the AI, that's one less player losing his winning streak and wasting a tournament ticket. So it's a really weird middle ground of being scummy and being nice at the same time. The perfect place for me to be. Yo ho ho ho. Thanks to my AI farming and the multiplier, I even ranked first with more than 37,000 points. I only played on the last day of the event. So I guess I got an S rank for effort. Yo ho ho ho. It was eating up a lot of my time, and after numerous hours throughout the evening, and way past midnight, all for the sake of farming the AI, I finally decided to call it quits early in the morning on the next day. But my last set of battles was interrupted by another player. I thought I had enough points, besides I didn't want to be a dick costing the other player tickets and points for no reason, especially with the event coming to a close in only a few hours. I had to face them twice though, because I wanted to complete my last tournament set, and this game simply looks for other opponents that are currently trying to enter, so it is kind of dumb this gets called a tournament mode at all. All it has in common with a real tournament is that consecutive wins are extremely important for better rewards. But matching you against the same player again and again because there are no others? That's pretty weak. Besides, you're just wasting time and tickets if you try to keep playing that mode, but found someone who you simply can't beat. I know what I'm talking about, since it happened to me as well. I met someone who kicked my ass. This player did some long combos with Speed, Sound Sonic and Spring Mustachio. I was really impressed. But my admiration for this player got mostly overshadowed by me being annoyed, since I just wanted to farm the AI. After that player already destroyed me once, I used another ticket and got matched with the same player again. Because of that, I decided to skip my second beating and take a break from the game. You could also say, I was rage quitting like a little baby. Yo ho ho ho. The worst thing about it all is that actually, this event could be used to get a lot of online chips, even without the final rank or point threshold rewards. Every time you win a battle you will get some chips sent to your reward drone, located in the central city area. Your reward will vary depending on your, quote-unquote, placement in the tournament. But it is, again, extremely time-consuming. For the 3 battles to finish up a tourney, with all the waiting and loading screens between the battles, it took about 30 minutes per tourney to get it done, and 3 consecutive wins at the highest ranked tourney awards. A whooping 10 chips. That's very little, but if you have no life, it's a good strategy to get some stupid items unlocked that you'll most likely end up never ever using, just like me. Yo ho ho ho. Trying to be a completionist is a pain in the ass. It makes me kinda sad I missed 31 chips to get one more April item. I even would have had the tickets to get that much chips with a few more tourneys. But when I quit, I was really done. It ruined my day and even a few days later I'm still recovering. I'm still drowsy and slow. But then again, I'm always somewhat slow, so most wouldn't notice a difference. Yo ho ho ho. I hope we can get some event that is actually supporting some cooperative efforts to get stuff. You know, like the boss raids in Fighter Z. Not that mode that got canned, there you are put in 1 out of 6 rivaling teams. I hate those modes their players screw each other over, so I don't mind it missing. I don't want to be a dick to other players, I just want enough online chips to get the event items. If you could get enough chips by reaching 10,000 tickets in the hero revitalization, I'd be doing that and ignore the rest. But, that one only gives 1,000 chips and that still is only enough for a few items. If they give us 2 months for all the new items, it should be way more doable, but I'm not sure why they would even allow us to get the May items during the next month. Maybe they can let the April items return to the online trader. That would at least be something, if they're not gonna put them in the regular shops at all. I guess we will have to wait and see. That's the end of hanautaBob's Baseless Blabbering Session 3. Have a beautiful day, unless you are a toxic person. Then go into the next corner you can find, think about what's wrong with you, better yourself, and after all that, have a beautiful day as well. hanautaBob out. Yo ho ho ho.